Hi everyone, and welcome to Into Enlightenment with me, Nancy Jones. I am here getting ready to do a tarot card reading. Today is Valentine's Day. I have my shirt that my daughter Tracy got me that just says love all over it. And I guess before I want to start with the tarot card reading, I wanted to talk about a little bit about Leviticus in the Holy Bible. And really what Leviticus is all about is about rituals and attunements or atonements for our sins, and how our sins separate us from our loved ones, our God, of course, of our understanding, our hopes and dreams, because we feel just that whatever we've done in our lives, if it's just been, rage or not being able to take your words back, or physically hurting someone, or neglecting, or being selfish and self-centered. I could go on and on about all the sins that we can do to one another to hurt each other. And we know the ones that affect us and that we try to live our lives through. And so Leviticus is about how we can make attunements for it. And it's in the Old Testament about, rituals, about burning and sacrifice of animals and burning and sage, and, people beat themselves and all that. And today, thank God, and I say God, it can be your Buddha, it can be your deities, it can be angels, it can be Mother Gaia, it can be Jesus Christ, it can be Mother Mary, it can be all of it. So when I say God, please don't get offended. But Jesus died for us, so we don't have to do all these rituals. His blood alone has made our lives so that we don't have to live in sin any longer, even when we've done something that we regret. So what I mean by that is, by God's blood and his sacrifice of his own life, all we have to do is own what we've done so we can make amends. So inside of ourselves, we have peace. And that can just be about saying you're sorry for an argument, or hurting someone, or keeping secrets, literally, physically murdering someone. Matter of fact, I had an old boyfriend. His name, I won't tell you about, but he was here on the Cape. He lived here. His father was a police officer here on the Cape. I haven't seen or heard from him in a long time, but I dated him a while back. And he was living in Florida, and he came here to get away and get clean and sober, and working out on the fishing boats. And I met him. I didn't remember him from school, and he was active and trying to get sober, so I kept my distance. And he had gone back to Florida. His ex-wife was there. They had properties, and he called me one night out of the blue, and he said he was in the bathroom, and he was so afraid that he was going to hurt his wife, because I could hear her. She wouldn't give him a moment's break. For an hour, I was on the phone with him telling him, don't open that bathroom door. Don't open it, don't open it, don't open it. And he didn't. And I said, promise me you'll just stay in there and lock yourself away from her, or just call the police, and have her removed, because she's the one that is out of control. Anyways, long story short, nothing happened. He comes back from there, comes back to the Cape. I don't really see him but for interval, maybe an hour or so. I helped him out one night. He got in a relationship down here with another girl, and she kicked him out, so he slept on the couch or whatever. didn't see him or hear from him again for a while. And next thing I know, I hear he went back to Florida. And I only know he went back to Florida because he killed his wife and then tried to burn her and the house down. Well, he reached out to me and he said he was sorry about using me. But I believe God used me to help him. And he was too heavy into his drug and alcohol addiction to actually receive it at the time. But I was there in his life. And he reached out to me through jail. He got 60 years. And he apologized. And I said to him, I forgive you. And, I wish you well. He works in the church in jail. And he's 7 years clean and sober. And I wished him well and said, I really don't want to have a relationship with you through email or anything like that. And that's how it was. And my whole point is, even the sins that we think we do, we make atonements for it. In our heart tells us what we need to say we're sorry for or look at. And Leviticus is about, you don't have to do all these rituals. All you have to do is say, I'm sorry, and try not to do it again or acknowledge what you've done. And I just wanted to read this a little bit. This is my book, my Bible, and I love it. And I really just, through all this throughout the book of Leviticus, we read about the sacrifices required to atone for sin. Aren't you thankful that God sent his son Jesus to fulfill all of the laws enumerated in the Old Testament and to be the once and for all perfect sacrifice for our sins? And then it says under here, and this is, tell him today how grateful you are. You flipped off the guy in the car, you wished, whatever you said to yourself and the anger or the lack of control in our lives. Just be grateful to whatever you believe in. Say thank you. Thank you, I don't have to do this and feel so bad about me anymore, right? You don't have to feel so bad about ourselves anymore. So that's my Leviticus. I was guided to just speak a little bit about that before I get into our tarot card reading for today. And I am going to use, which I love, the Kabbalah tarot cards. This is the Tree of Life. And this is for all signs. I really believe that wherever we're at and you hear or see this message, you could get it throughout the rest of this month, Valentine's Day especially, or whatever, that when you're supposed to hear it, you're going to hear it. And when you're not, you're not. So what you need, you get. What you don't need, leave for the rest. Valentine's Day is for, so they say, lovers. But who else to love? A God of your understanding that died for us so we can be free of our own sins, right? And I woke up and the first person who messaged me was a friend of mine who we ebb and flow in our lives, and she wished me a happy Valentine's Day. And I was kind of in a weird mood because I am a single person now and no longer in a relationship, and it's my first Valentine's without a relationship in a long time. And I thought, you know what? Relationships don't have to be one-sided. And I really was feeling good and sorry for myself. I woke up grumpy and sad, and I had a good cry, and then I realized, no, love is about everything in our lives, not just one relationship. And and that relationship wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be. Or it would still be here. So let's read the Tree of Life. I will pull some oracle cards at the end too for some words, and we'll do some clarification with another tarot deck. All right. Let's see. I am going to do the cross. So let's see. My table has got this thing on the legs where I'm sitting. So I kind of have to sit this way, and then I have to move myself this way. So I apologize if you see me a little squirmy. So let's see. The Tree of Life, right at our present moment, right at what's going on. It's about support and connection, and it holds all there was and all there is and all that will be right now. Oh my God. And then let's see what's crossing or challenging it. Higher teachings, the removal of ego, a shift in your desire, study as a teacher or a leader. It's a Virgo. It's the 20th path. It's the Hermit card. Spiritual guidance, commitment, a way shower. Wow. This is going to be a deep read. The past, the lovers. Sorry, put it over here. The future, the personality triangle. Mindfulness, not nice. Well, it's Aquarius season. I am Aquarius, and what you want is the element of air, which is thoughts, mind, communication. It's Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So we'll get deeper into that. And then your subconscious is judgment. Judgment and eon. Fortitude, renewal, truths revealed. Ooh. It's Earth. It's Mercury. It's Malkuth, Hod, and Pluto. Deep, deep, deep. This is the 6th Tippereth, which is the Sephiroth, which is the high beings, which are a fire. Well, each one has a different meaning, but the burning bush that they talk about in the Bible was the Sephiroth, which is a part of God. And this is your advice. It's the Sun card in the tarot for sure. I just love that. It's good advice. Phoenix rising, the lion, the horse, balance, sacrifice, joy. Pushes energy. And the soul sits here. It's the power center. Waiting for true knowledge is what I get. All right, and then we have, what is that? Oh, our external influences is the magician. Magic, divine mind, intent. And it's everything. Everything. And this is what's around us, I believe, right? Yeah, external, it's around us. So this is all around us. And this is our hopes and fears, which is the spiritual triangle. Be careful what you ask for, you might just get it. That's what this means. Highest calling. It's you being asked to consider the divinity within you. It's the spirit and the mother and the father, but it's also divinity, creation, and manifestation. And these are your fears. Those are fears. Maybe some of you have a fear of God. And you don't know why. Maybe somebody put that in you as a child. Who knows? And then your outcome is Malkuth, kingdom, the bride of Kether. Kether is the highest in the spiritual Sephiroth. And let me see what it means. It's the crown. It's like dream what you choose to manifest, to bring here and now. It's the angel that comes along with the bride of Kether. I want to say she's like the high priestess, because even higher. And also, this also means to be in nature more. You'll get more of everything, but you'll get more balance. It's amazing. And the angel attached to Kether is Metatron, and he's the highest order of the angels, and he's the holy living creature. So we have some pretty powerful cards here for whoever is listening. Oh, and underneath we have the middle pillar. So now we have the personality triangle, which happens to be, we have, which is that? We have Venus, we have the moon, we have Earth, we have Neptune, and Mercury. It's just below the solar plexus, the sun's personality, nature, and mindfulness. It's about rebuilding your life, actually. It's about changing from, it's about taking from your past, which was the lovers, where you really worked on choices and intelligent communication. And it's the Tephara. It runs through Tephara and Binah. And of course, Binah is one of the third highest in the Sephiroth, and Tephara is in the sixth. And it runs through so many of those emotions and learning about balancing our male and female within ourselves. It also is about the Gemini, loving yourself and understanding. And what this means in the past is you've asked yourself to walk with soul and spirit. What does love mean to you? This is what you've worked on in your past or working on now, and it's coming to its end. And then underneath this all is the middle pillar. And the middle pillar holds balance between severity and mercy on the tree of life. It's a backbone, balance, and the middle way, meaning like, it's like taking the high road. And it's also getting more ideas for your life, and waiting, and it's a beautiful path to be, and this is how we're going to get there. This is what's pushing it forward. So right now you have the tree of life itself. You are the tree of life, and it's a map of your life. And we hold these points and vortexes or chakras in our body. And like I said, it holds what was, what is, and what will be. We are that powerful in the tree of life. And then we also have a map system that you can study about where we're going to make our choices, how we're going to proceed forward, and who we're going to get support from, who we are going to support others, and making connections. So it's a lot. And the challenge is the hermit, right? And the hermit is about the hermit is about higher teaching and removal of the ego, a shift in your desire. So say you've wanted to do something in, I don't know, photography, but it doesn't pay the bills. But now you're going to actually take a photography course. You're not going to stop your job that pays the bills, but you got something else to learn, more education, and that feeds your soul, that feeds you, that makes you find some igniting flame within inside of you, and that you will want to talk about and bring it to other people. And also when you do that, you become a way shower, and you become a teacher, and you lead other people when you're happy and you're doing something, and you don't have to do it on a platform or anything like that. So that's, a really amazing thing. And then we have our future, which is, we already talked about that, the personality triangle, right? It's about understanding ourselves and understanding the world we live in our community that we just choose to hang out with. It's not like if you're going into a Buddhist ashram, or you're just going to do meditation and breathing for the day, you're not going to go in there thinking you're going to change anyone. Matter of fact, you're going in there to change yourself. But sometimes our egos and everything, right, our egos here, want to go in there and think we're going to do something differently. And it's really all about our earthly lower parts of our body, the moon and the earth and Venus and Mercury, right? And let me see, what is Mercury? It's communication, and it's swift information, and it's also about the magician as well. And I think we have the magician right here. It's the magician card. And then Venus, of course, we have Venus, and that's all about beauty and love and our senses, and that's Netzach. And also this is in the Empress, so earth and get grounded and mindfulness, right? So, and then we have the moon in here, which is on the lower parts of what affect us in our world, right? And the moon is about family and cycles, and that's the high priestess. So there's a lot going on. And then of course we have what is this? Number 5 is what we want. And the element of air, which is we want our minds, our thoughts and our minds to be on a higher level, right? Higher ether level communication. And it has in here, it's got the feathers and the sword. So it's about thinking things through, making good choices. What else? It's about transformation and change. Let me see, the sword's about authority and intellect and air. It's got a feather on here. And the feather, think about what that is. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Oh, the feather, the feather, the feather. Come on, give it to me, give it to me. Oh, it's truth and rising. Okay. So this is what you want. You want truth and you want to overcome a lot of this stuff. And then your subconscious now. This is subconscious is stuff that hasn't come to our consciousness. This is the stuff that can create fears too. And this is definitely the phoenix rising. This is fire. This is earth and Mercury. And Pluto, big changer, rebirth, regrowth. It's fortitude, it's renewal, it's truths revealed. This is the subconscious. This is things about, well, I'm just going to say it like it is. Truths being revealed are like being in a relationship that I was in. And you get a puppy for Christmas and an e-bike, and they pretend that they want to be with you and love you. And then 2 weeks later, they don't want to be with you and love you anymore. And it's hard to wrap your head around it and understand, trying to find understanding without getting angry. And let me tell you, you want to hear the phoenix rising. I burned the hell out of that relationship with my mouth. And I said it like I saw it, but I didn't hear other conversations. God heard the conversations that he was having with other people. I didn't hear them. And so, boom, taken out. That subconscious stuff, I didn't know what was going on around me. And this is the stuff that, for me, truth's revealed and the renewal around it. It's not easy when Pluto's involved. And then, of course, we have our advice, which is the sun. Yay, right? It's knowledge in the future. It's Da'at. And Da'at is letting go of the world, worldly illusions. And it's also in between that creator and creation. And that exists within the abyss. And it's talking about triumph and rising. They have the phoenix up here, rising above the ashes and the sun, and it's just beautiful. And your soul sits here, so you can get some real advice from your inside if you take the time to listen. And then this is your external influences, and this is the 12th path, and it's the magician. It's magic, it's divine, it's intent. It's got the, what is that? It's an ibis, I think it is. It's an ibis. It's the ibis. It's truth, it's the human soul. It's got the sword, it's got affinity, it's got the cups and the bounty. It has Thoth. It's got everything all rolled into one. It's a divine mind. It's a divine mind. It means that you listen to your inner self and you go in deep. You listen to your divine mind. It's pretty deep. And then we have our fears, our hopes and fears, and it's the spiritual triangle, which is the highest of them all. It's the Akitha, Kakma, Achakma, and Bina, and that is spirit and father and mother. And it's divinity, creation, and manifestation, and it's the highest calling. You're being asked to consider the divinity in you. And that can be very scary when we don't want to face ourselves and know that we're sinners. And then we can't judge that because God has already done that. He died for us, right? That we learned that in our reading earlier. So, and Leviticus. So we are doing pretty good. And then of course your outcome is Malkuth. And Malkuth is, what number is she? The 10th Sephirah. And that is the 10th Sephirah. And that is the kingdom. And it's earth and manifestation. And it's being here and now. And she's also the bride of Kether. So she's the 10th and Kether is the 1st. So like God, if you study the Bible, there's God and then there's Shekinah. And Shekinah is the aspect of God that we can see in a form, like a cloud, a vapor, an earth. It's how God can communicate with us. And that's Shekinah. So it's pretty amazing. All right, so let's see if we can get a little clarity. I'll use my tarot cards, even though, wowza. We'll just do a really quick tarot. So I want to ask about the Hermit. Why is that crossing? Why is that? Oh, there's way too many, so let's just see, why is that crossing the Hermit? All right, we got a couple here. So we have the Moon, and we have the Lovers. Oh, look at that. And we have Death and Rebirth. So that is what the Hermit was doing up before he was learning. He's learning all these things. He's learning about himself. He's faced a lot of his egos in the waters. He's faced all his, maybe he's got some heartache, or maybe he's finding a way to balance that male and female within him. And the death and rebirth, of course, that's the challenge, right? Overcoming it and walking out and being the teacher, and the removal of ego. And that's what has to happen when you're in the Lovers within inside of yourself or in a relationship. And the Moon is always connected to the earth. And the Moon is the light and darkness within us, and just like the light and darkness within Lovers, and the male and the female, and then the death and the rebirth, the light and the dark. So that's what the overcoming of that is. And if anyone is going through some major changes right now, know that there is a rebirth. And you will have clarity and you will know more. So I want to get more clarity on the future. Okay, so we got a bunch here. So we got the Sun, the Knight of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Wands. Wow, this is good. The Star, of course, the star for the month of February, and the Page of Cups. Okay, so a personal triangle. This all has to do with everything here on earth. The Sun, right? So we've got the Knight of Cups. It's coming fast. It's going to be mindfulness. You are going to grow. You found the lack. There's not going to be lack any longer. You've overcome this in your challenge. You've got the Four of Wands with this celebration. And the Star, you're connected to the light and the dark. You found your inner strength, your inner soul. You're started to listening to yourself and become mindful and go back to nature. And then the Page of Cups is, it can be love coming in the future. You never know. You got a lot of stuff going on there. I always say, yeah, when donkeys fly with the Page of Cups, but it looks good with everything backing it up. So don't let that personality, the ego, say, no, I don't deserve it, or that inner hurt, because you've overcome it. You're going to receive it. And I think for the spiritual triangle, I want to, your hopes and fears, I want to get a little clarity on. And then I'm just going to pull an oracle card. So hopes and fears. So we got temperance. So that's about balance. Anything else for hopes and fears? Don't let them overcome. Your higher calling. Queen of Cups, wow. So temperance and the Queen of Cups, consider the divinity within you. You've balanced your emotions. You have the know-how. And we have the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands, and the Six of Cups. I love the Six of Cups. It's so, someone's got your back. And the Page of Wands is new beginnings, and the Knight of Wands is hell yeah, let's go, all this new beginning, and don't be afraid because you've done the work and you're starting anew. And don't let your fears keep you from moving ahead, and do believe in your hopes. Do believe in your hopes. So let me pull, I like the Divine Masters Oracle cards, and I'm just going to pull one because these are pretty deep. And an overall for this reading, please. An overall Divine Masters Oracle guide for this particular reading for the month of February. For all signs, I want to say thank you to everyone who has followed me on my journey and watched me grow and change, and life happens to us all, and I'm so blessed to know who I am, and I never stop looking deeper and deeper, right? And I hope I can help you find your way and your path, and look deep within and find your own spirituality. That to me is everything. Have a faith, and a hope. So, oh my God, I pulled the Jesus card. This is the overall of this reading, and it's acts of service. When you serve, the universe serves you. So let me get the card. Wow, Jesus, look at that. Oh my God, we got the Jesus for the overall of this. So let me see. I have to look and see where he is in my thing. 70, all right. When you serve, the universe serves you. Jesus of Nazareth is a bringer of truth and light. He is a guiding presence for the entire universe, and a living, dying, spiritual demonstration that forgiveness is possible, and that a life of service will ultimately bring sustenance. When Jesus walked the earth, he was persecuted for his beliefs and bravery, yet he still loved everyone, for he saw the world through the eyes of the divine. Jesus is everywhere at once. He is with you right now. Like the angels, he awaits your call, and with the help of the angels, he can restore you to your natural light-filled self. When you call on him, he will bring light to your mind. His presence removes the blindfolds that prevent you from seeing all the blockages that stand between you and your growth. Jesus may be a spiritual teacher, but he loves to be seen as a friend and brother. He comes to us as an equal and doesn't want us to idolize him, but to see what he has, we have too. Your message. When this card appears, you are being invited to tune into the energy of service. Service is showing up with a generous heart and sharing your gifts in a way that can help the expansion of the world. It's important not to confuse the energy of service with charity, for these are two different energies. And when you serve, it's okay for your gifts, talents, and service to be honored in an energetic exchange. Today, the light of heaven is encouraging you to recognize that you deserve to be honored for the talents you share. Jesus is here to help you move beyond any old ideas that you have to give until you are empty. You aren't here to live empty or half full. The divine plan is for you to enjoy fulfillment and balance. Instead of asking the universe or God to use you, ask to be guided to serve in a way that also serves you. When you are full and overflowing, you have more energy and resources to share with others. I think that's a beautiful way to end. And if no one has told you they love you today, well, I love you.